Hello guys, it's Sunny, or Duped from Yo Nation, the Yo, and hi, this is my third review thus far, and this will be for the up-and-coming ILOVEYOYO Fury. So, I'm sure most of you guys have already heard about this yo-yo. Is ILYY's first real attempt on an H shape. I say real attempt because the Enigma may have been sort of an H shape, but as you can see, the Fury here is really a true H shape. Really definite, and on the website it's in your face, I believe. Right now this yo-yo is currently in the pre-production stage, and just to clear any confusion, I believe there have been 3 versions of the Fury out so far. One, I believe, it could have been a black one, I'm not sure, but there was a first run of prototypes, there weren't very many of them. And then I think there were a second run of orange canonized prototypes as well, and these were heavier versions of the current, they were heavier than the current production specs of the Fury. And I've heard some of these had wobble problems and some of them played smoothly, so I don't even know what to say to that. And they're like $300 if you want one, so that won't be an option for most of us. And currently we're on the pre-production run, which is silver canonized, as I have here. I believe there's either 25 or 30 of them, but that's irrelevant. And I believe that, the pre-production run will have the same specs as the production run Furies. So though I will be reviewing here will be the same one that will be hitting stores soon. As always, it comes in the classic ILOVEYOYO velvet bag, red, with ILOVEYOYO German high-end yo-yos stamped on it, which is really nice. Inside you get, besides the yo-yo, you get this little disclaimer notice, and the ILOVEYOYO pin, which comes in this little Ziploc bag so it doesn't damage your yo-yo, which is good thinking on their part. And of course you have the yo-yo itself, and I guess I'll talk about how it looks and feels, I guess. So mine, of course, comes with the pearl cando dies, which is basically their cando dies finish on a silver or clear ano. And from first look, I guess it is pretty big. It's a pretty big yo-yo, and it's definitely full-sized, bigger than all the other ILOVEYOYOs I've played. Definitely feels a little bigger in your hand than a Leo Pleurodon, and it has that really protruding H shape, and this groove right here fits perfectly in your middle finger, and then the rims themselves are slightly tapered, a little not tapered but curved, to give it a nice comfortable feel, which unlike the Yo-Yo Factory yo-yos, which are sharper than this, and I think that's a really nice feel. It does come with the standard ILOVEYOYO round nipples, which is a good look and feels nice too, as well as an IRG area. It's not that big, but it's usable. And of course, like always, it comes with the standard ILOVEYOYO silicone, the red hot silicone, and de-shielded KMK bearing, which comes caked with lube, so you'll have to clean that. But after you clean it, it's a great bearing, and you should have no need to replace it. As far as play goes, let's see. Well, I'll start with how it feels on the string. It's definitely very smooth, and if you can tune it perfectly, center the axle, and then you can get it to a dead smooth point, and that's really nice, a really good feeling, and that's what I have it at right now, which is why I'm not unscrewing it to show you the guts. But it's normal guts, you should have seen it by now. And yeah, it's really smooth. It's definitely a solid yo-yo and very stable as well. But I wouldn't say it's too heavy. I mean, the Leoplerodon is by far heavier than the Fury. At least it feels so on the string. On the Fury, I'd say it's a middle-sized weight. Not light, not heavy, but medium. It's like I said before, very stable, and it doesn't, zip through the string or anything, but then it doesn't lag either. It's a medium everything, I guess. It binds well, very tightly, or not very tightly, but decently. And the silicone looks good, so I don't really feel a need to rip it out or anything. The bearings are smooth and quick and quiet. As far as grinding goes, this does support the canonized finish, which is not bad for grinding at all, but I'll leave that for you to decide. I'll get more to like the shape itself and how that detracts from grinding. As far as finger grinding goes, it should be obvious that this is not your best bet to go with, because this little groove right here doesn't really allow for much space. So the only way I find myself grinding with this is using the very tip of my finger, and that usually is kind of hard to do for me. So I just and then if you want to do a normal finger grind up here, it's far too narrow to fit the finger, and it'll stick and grab and lose spin really quickly. So I just abstain from doing any finger grinding with the Fury. Palm grinding, it's not that great either, because all you have are these little rims right here, which will basically go on your fingers, and it's not too great either. As far as inner rim grinds, the groove works. It's not great though. It's kind of small, and it might take some getting used to get to that point where you can pop it up and have your thumb be able to stick in there on the first try. So yeah, grinding is definitely not a strong point for this yo-yo, but I don't think any 8 shapes are meant for grinding, for that matter. I would say that this yo-yo is really meant for stability and just a good dependable yo-yo. If you want to use for like a competition or something, I'd say this is a good choice, because it's really stable. It spins for a long time. It doesn't really tilt or anything. It's got good binds and reliable string play. It can handle slacks, suicides, layers really well. And plus it looks really cool. I mean, when I first saw pictures of it, it just blew my mind on how good looking it was. But yeah. So if you're a guy for aesthetics, this should be for you, because it's definitely a good looking yo-yo. And I believe the price line for this should be around $120, like all the other ILYY releases, and production run should be hitting shelves soon. So yeah, try and get one of these when they come out. That's all I can say. It's definitely a good buy. And I just really gotta give props to Frank and Dom over at ILOVEYOYO, because they've been cranking out a lot of good stuff lately. The Leo, the Enigma, the Rocket, the Torino, and the Fury, and they're all great yo-yos. I mean, they're just perfect. So yeah, I guess that wraps it up for this review, and I hope to see you guys soon in another review.